If you want a really easy and visually effective background for the content that you are creating, feel free to steal what I'm doing right here. We start off with background lighting. This is just color changing light bulbs. I'm going to link them both in the video and in the description for you. These are all controlled by an app, so I can change the colors to be whatever vibe I want. I actually have 3 light bulbs sitting back here. I've used the monitor to block it, the plants to block it. And it's really easy for me to just be able to change it to pinks and blues. I can do different colors. You can see I've got pinks and blues in here. And then I've got little sun lamps off to the side that are actually green. And they're kind of casting green over here. I could turn on different, if I can find it, I can turn on different lights behind me with different sun lamps. And it's real easy to just change the way that your background looks based on those lightings. And you have like remotes, you have apps, depending on what you're going to be using. If you're using the color sync light bulbs that I have, it's just all controlled within an app, real easy, and you can actually do different ranges of motion. So you could have the steady lights, or you can make them flicker like candlelight. There's tons and tons of options, and then you can add in the sun lamps as like a little bit of a kicker. Now, some sun lamps are going to be just like those orangey colors. Some of them have color changing properties, so you can do a lot of different things and set them up in different locations to change the way that things are going to look inside of your videos. But in addition, I have my LG Stand By Me. This is, and you've heard me talk about this in tons of videos, this is a rolling screen. So right now it's in vertical. I can also rotate it so that it is horizontal. I just flip the entire screen, and I can angle it, I can tilt it, I can lift it up and down. It comes on a rolling base, so I can take it around my house, and it has a really long battery life. So what I do for my background is I'll turn on these colored lights, and then depending on what the picture is, I usually match it to the color tones of the picture, but I wanted it to stand out differently here. And I will just then cast my phone. So I'm literally just casting my phone to my LG Stand By Me, and it's whatever image I need it to be. So if I'm teaching on this channel, you may see my Instagram up here, so I can show you button for button, click for click, how to do Instagram things. If I'm talking about my author life, you might see some kind of bookish artwork. If I'm over on my Puppy Mom channel, you will probably see images of my dogs here or videos of my dogs, so that we have those visual connections. You can see bright and colorful. It can be artsy. It can be functional, where I'm showing you something on screen. It could just be like pretty and eye-catching so that people understand what I'm talking about. Because especially with someone like me, I have multiple platforms. I have 3 main platforms: teaching social media marketing and digital entrepreneurship, author life and publishing, and then Puppy Mom. And so with those, if you're constantly seeing my face, which channel am I, right? But if you can see my puppy behind me, now you know that's my puppy channel. If you see something bookish, that's usually going to be my author channel. If you see something that is social media related, that's usually going to be my social media education. So having visual representations of what I'm discussing makes it really easy. And the nice thing is I can change these. This can be whatever I need it to be, so that if I'm discussing a different topic within the overall umbrella of like my dog mom life, if I'm talking about taking the dogs to the beach or traveling with the dogs or dog grooming, I can change those so that it makes sense with what I'm discussing. That way it's not an overlay. It's not like I have to like figure out backgrounds. And depending on where you're putting this, it takes up a lot of space. So I can actually turn my camera and be real close to this and just have a very dedicated look to this the conversation that I'm going to be having inside of those videos. This way, not only do the first 3 seconds, the first couple of words that I say get people's attention, but the visual cues get them to stop because they understand what that thing is. They understand bookish content. They understand puppy content. They understand that that thing behind me is TikTok, and they're going to be able to stop. And then the colorful lights level that up and make it look much more professional. So the lighting, very cheap, very accessible. The LG Stand By Me is a little bit more expensive, but highly, highly worth the investment. And if you can catch it when it's on sale, you can get hundreds of dollars off on it. It's a really good investment, and you can use it a lot of different ways. It is touchscreen. There's a lot. I've done tutorials and videos on how to do that, so I'll link some of those for you. But this just makes it so easy for me. And I can do this horizontal, I can do it vertical. If I'm doing it vertical, I can move right in. And believe me when I say it works really well on TikTok, it works really well on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram to have something high level looking right next to me. And that just elevates all the content and stops the scroll. So creating something like this, even just in a little corner, is going to change the game when it comes to your content creation. And of course, we've talked about how to do versions of this while you're traveling, easy ways that you can take lighting with you, all of those things. So we've got tons and tons of tutorials here on the channel. Go ahead and let me know your questions on this or what you're struggling with so that I can continue to provide you with technology ideas and advice so that you can level up the content you're creating to make more money and save you time, effort, and stress while you're doing so. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.